Reinhard.
Hi.
Nice to see you again. So I have a question for you, that is, what do you believe is the future of Ethereum?
Of the blockchain, Ethereum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Of the cryptocurrency.
I mean, for that to answer, it's not a yes or no answer. It's not pretty straightforward. First of all, we need to understand that Ethereum is more than just a cryptocurrency. It's more than just transferring value from A to B, right?
Yes.
It's basically it's a programming language with reference to the so-called smart contracts. So basically what you can do with Ethereum is to develop your own application. It's kind of an autopilot, and this application runs often very complex processes and programs. So, and I think for this there's a huge future. On the other hand, this architecture makes it a little bit cumbersome to code. Okay. Because it's like in the early days of software technology. You're too young, but I remember myself being exposed to PL1 programming, which was a kind of an ancient computer language.
The Greeks used that.
Yeah, the Egypts.
Okay.
No, basically it's a sequential program language, and also Fortran. And then there were the first procedural languages like Pascal and Modular, and this was a huge step that makes parts of the code reusable, right? And this is what Ethereum already does. It makes parts of the code reusable. Yeah, but still, it's very complicated, and you need to be very aware of potential side effects. So that means you do one coding in a bit here that may have huge impacts on another place somewhere else. So what you need to see is the usability of this coding of the smart contract development. Yes. Because it's not only that I want to have a token that works, I really want to understand it. If I, for example, want to have a token or a smart contract that runs last wishes, and I'm a lawyer, I want to understand what this smart contract does. So for example, you write your last will, you want to understand, or you ask a lawyer to prepare, you want to understand what he's writing.
Of course.
And the same is with smart contracts.
Sure.
So I think there's a huge opportunity, a huge chance that we will see a lot more usability. This is one thing.
Okay.
Right?
Does that mean that Ethereum has a special place in the space of cryptocurrencies?
Absolutely.
Do you think it's going to replace our leader in the sense of Bitcoin right now, concerning the dominance?
No, it's a completely different thing.
Okay.
I mean, you cannot. It's like you replace a smartphone. You replace a bank account with a smartphone. It's completely different things, right? I mean, you can do one thing with a smartphone, sure, but also different.
I mean, it
other
has
things.
currency, correct? But I agree that
it's completely. Sure. We shouldn't mix up. It's a completely other, different kind of thing. And of course, yes, you can also transfer Ether from A to B, and it has some value. But this is not the core of Ethereum. Nice. It's a construct, right? And what we will see is that more and more developers and let's say users and architects will come from one part to the other part and cross the bridge. So that makes it modular, right? And so, for example, when we look at software architecture, typically who designs software architecture? Designers. Are they technicians? Not necessarily. In the early days they were, but now you're talking to people who are from the business side. So for example, you build a retail, you build a application, a front-end application for a retail bank, right?
Okay.
So for example, for loan applications. So whom do you ask? A developer? No.
Most likely not.
Not, right? You ask somebody who is doing this for 10 years, 20 years, is running, is issuing loans every day. So he knows what the requirements are. And this step will come also in the cryptocurrency space or in the blockchain technology space. So we are, the people who code smart contracts, what they are now, from the business side or more for the technology side?
Right now they're more the technology side.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that will change. So I think there's a huge potential for the business architects to come in and design these applications or decentralized dApps, decentralized applications.
Okay.
Right?
Good.
So this is, but we see this already. So I mean, there's even coming. I'm a lawyer myself, so I can say this. There is even coming lawyers into play and do their first steps in decentralized applications and smart contract development, right? And this is amazing. So this is, for me, it's a sign that we will cross the bridge towards a more business-oriented approach, not so much technology-centered, but a more business-oriented approach.
Let's see where that takes us to.
Yeah, because
thanks a lot.
Important to say, at the moment we see a lot of hype talk on YouTube, Instagram, and so on, the Lamborghini photos. Everybody's talking about, the crypto markets up or down. It's very superficial. And on the other hand, we have the core techies. They talk about proof of work, proof of stake, whatever, side pipelining, and so on. So what we need to see is the business layer. The business architects coming in and saying, well, what are real-world application for smart contracts?
No, use cases. Yeah.
Use cases, right? So the business architects coming in. And when this happens, this will be the next big, let's say, development in not only for Ethereum, but also for the cryptocurrency space. Actually, there's one blockchain company in Australia. They were dealing with it's E-Ink. It's called E-Ink. You can have a look at them.
Okay, I think they're an Ethereum fork.
Yes, they are an Ethereum fork, and we are advising them, so they know what they do.
Nice placement.
Yeah. Now, basically, what they're looking for is to have a more out-of-the-box approach for smart contracts. And so they combine the functionality and technicality of Ethereum with the easiness of a drag-and-drop system. Okay. This is an interesting concept to follow.
Yeah, we should definitely keep an eye on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you for that, Reinhard.
You're welcome.
So feel welcome to have more on us on pecun.io, our website, and stay tuned.